welcome to the SGX3 and NAIRR webinar to combine today. I'm Sandra Gesing. I'm the PI of the Center of Excellence for Science Gateways, and the NAIRR Pilot Portal is developed and provided by SGX3 in collaboration with NSF and the other operating teams. So please interrupt, raise a hand if you have questions. So this is planned really to go through it. We have some demos of the NAIRR Pilot Portal sandboxes and videos. And the idea is really that you can also exploit yourself. And here you see the list of the names. So from my name to Janae, that is the leadership team of SGX3, and the next names are the people implementing at SCSC the NAIRR Pilot Portal and the sandboxes. And yeah, it's a big team with that. So what are science gateways? So if you are new to science gateways, they act as bridges. So it's really the ideas that researchers and educators, also students or research software engineers, have really this bridge to lab instruments, complex instruments to HPC and cloud, data repositories. We will talk also about data, of course, computation methods, and especially interesting also AI and ML. And they help with security and authentication tools and APIs, data integration, and one platform really as a collaboration platform. Let me get here some zoom out of the way. And also with visualizations. And now with the NAIRR Pilot Portal, having the sandboxes is also a science gateway because it provides access to data, it provides access to workspaces, and we will go more into detail with this. So what is SGXV, the Center of Excellence for Science Gateways? So we have three big areas: practical advice, networking and thought leadership, and career development. And you might have heard about our sustainability training, Focus Week and Jumpstart. We give consulting and technology. We have a successful usability and graphic design consulting. And we are really also, building community around. So we were last year on tribal land for the conference. This year we will be in Washington, D.C. in September. We support blueprint factories as thought leadership, what the community really needs, and community surveys. We have monthly webinars that is part of the webinar series, and visiting presentations on the road. For the workforce development, we have faculty and student hackathons, and also summer internship experience at Tech. So the 2026 will happen in the summer. But now we are coming to the topic why you are here, the NAIRR Pilot. And AI, it can accelerate discovery and innovation, and it really will also reshape the modern workforce. But there's still a lack in general access to AI resources, and then the NAIRR Pilot and then the NAIRR is really meant as this research infrastructure to bridge this access gap. And it's for US researchers and educators really to have access to to infrastructure, to data, to models, and also to training and educational materials. And the expected outcome is that there is really a faster AI-powered discovery, that research is faster, that we can do more things with AI, that then expanded AI workforce. So it's very clear that AI needs new workforce also who knows how to use it, how to build things, to have better use of public and private resources, and a stronger AI interpretability, security, and trust. The NAIRR Pilot started in 2024, and NAIRR will start at the end of 2026. So, and you can have an overview at these different URLs. So NAIRR Pilot is really a big multidisciplinary, company, multi-federal project. So you can see, and from NSF to DARPA, USDA to really like NOAA and NIST, and NIH. So there are a lot of federal bodies and also non-governmental partners. So the different companies and a lot of the names you will know. So this is really multidisciplinary between federal, between companies, with research. It's a big project and really with all the aspects of industry, private sector, relationships and nonprofit. And if you look at the NAIRR Pilot Portal, so you find this on the nairrpilot.org, you see the different menus you can look at. So how to get started? What are the opportunities, for example? So there are startup projects, research resources, educational researches, deep partnerships, open data models and more. I will say more about this. And but you can also look at how does really the request review when you submit something work. And you can become a volunteer reviewer because we always need reviewers in the NAIRR pilot. So if we look at this, the opportunities which are at the moment there around getting resources, the startup projects helps really with the 3 months on ramp to test workflows and right-size resource. Then the research resources are projects up to 12 months. You can get resources from computing, for data, different models and tools. Educational resources are really like course-ready NAIRR access for AI teaching or workforce development for up to 3 months. So these are also open. Deep partnerships are meant as multi-year co-design collaborations. So really to have complex AI research and infrastructure up to 36 plus months. So there are a couple of possibilities and opportunities at the moment with different companies. And there's open data models and more, because that is what we often need in AI. We need the data, we need pre-trained data, or we need model to train that. So that's really, and software around it, the different training tools. And I see a comment in the chat. Oh, thanks, Sean. So if you look, for example, when you open then the NAIRR pilot resource request to advance AI research, the resource what I did show in, and here are the opportunities and allocations. For example, you can look at the capabilities. What do you really want? So what kind of systems you are interested in? But the resource status is of course also important. You want to see the active one when you apply. So there are paused ones and retired ones. And the different resource types you can have a look at, from cloud to compute to sensors and instruments. And here, as an example, at the moment, Amazon Web Services and Google Cloud Platform are paused. So but they might come back. So these are different. If you apply at the moment, use the resource status to apply there for active resources. So this was a rough overview on, this is how the opportunities look at the moment. So the next topic are projects. And this is then really already existing projects, like resource allocations. Successful, I will show examples for this. Demonstration project, expansion project are a little bit different. The project map is, really cool. It shows that we have in all 50 states, not only the number that in all 50 states are now NAIRR pilot projects, but shows it also on the map. And we have the Sandbox project, that will be the topic, and project highlights. So if I, for example, show, okay, I want to see what are the projects at the moment which are already funded. So you can see here, I selected applied computer science. Then I see, the different projects, the number, who's a PI, how many node hours, or what kind of data they're applying for, what is the title. And you can go then really copy the link and go to the project and get more information. So that is helpful if you want to apply for yourself, also maybe looking at examples. So demonstration projects are really also multidisciplinary efforts. So where we want to find out that what is possible in a future full NAIRR. So that people came together, the researchers, domain scientists, or and or cyber infrastructure specialists. And you can find a couple of those there who are going really to demonstrate what would be important to have in the future full NAIRR. And then there are the expansion projects. So that involves teams of educators, researchers, community engagement specialists. So really to look at specific capacity building challenges. And also here you have some examples of different funded projects where you can see what is going on at the moment in that field with the expansion projects. And this is a map. It shows all the different allocations and projects that are given out, and you see, yeah, in every state and the numbers. So that is really shows you, yeah, the type and the numbers, and it's a wonderful visualization. So sandbox projects are really the project we want to talk today about, and these are projects that is for US-based researchers. So we have 2 at the moment on the prod side, but we show you another one, or another one that will be soon also open. And with that having said,
in the menu, look for projects, and then go down to sandbox projects. What you're looking at here is the NAIRR Pilot Sandbox catalog. Each of these sandboxes represents a pre-configured environment that contains research tools and data. My demo today is to show you what we have currently developed and to demonstrate what a future full-scale NAIRR effort could offer. User-configurable, reproducible, turnkey research environments. So if I go into this one sandbox, you see you have to log in to run the sandbox. NAIRR Pilot is using CI Logon as its primary authentication mechanism, so researchers can just sign in using their existing institutional credentials. So let me go ahead and sign in as myself. Yeah, and now you can see we can now run the sandbox. From the user's perspective, launching a tool is intentionally simple. It's just a single click. There's no need to specify resources or runtime configuration. Those controls do exist, but they're hidden by default, so users can focus on running tools, not managing all the infrastructure. Under the hood, this sandbox is a Docker image contained in a Git repository that gets built and run when we click that button, and it's all configurable by the AI researcher. So here you see I'm dropped into a Jupyter Notebook environment, and that's the primary front end used in NAIRR Sandbox pilots projects today. Each user who logs in and runs the sandbox gets an isolated workspace so they can modify code freely without affecting other users. And you can also save changes to your workspace. So if you want to edit this tool, adapt it to your specific needs, go right ahead. You won't affect any other users. So this tool itself is just a simple handwritten digit identification widget. We're going to train a convolutional neural network on some images, and then ask it to, based on what it learned, classify some images further down. So let's start the training for this network. It'll take about 30 seconds to run through thousands of images, and you can go ahead and ignore those error messages. But you can see it's training now. It'll do this 3 separate times, and all the code for the entire neural network is contained right here. So it's a fairly simple example. And there we go, we finished running. So if we want to take that model and actually use it, we'll pass some pre-configured images in this test numbers directory. We'll go here, run this. If we scroll down, then yeah, our model saw this and said, I think it's a 2. Clearly right. I think this is a 4, right? 0, 8. Okay, it's wrong there. Here it predicts a 5, 5, and then predicts a 2 being a 2. I mean, not bad for 30 seconds training. This particular tool is a handwritten numerical image tool. There's other tools that you can run in the system. And while Jupyter is the primary front-end user interface today, we're actively exploring support for additional front-ends such as Gradio and Streamlit. We're also working with the National Data Platform to enable users to attach shared datasets directly to their sandboxes at launch. We'll be watching a short video about some of that work later in this meeting. The long-term goal of these sandboxes is to offer a seamless experience where identity, compute, software, and data all come together in a single workspace to help enable AI research. Thank you for your time.
What was shown, my name is Praveen. I'm from Oregon Institute of Technology. I submitted a request for a sandbox and it said it went for an approval to this, systems administrator. Do you know what is the timeline for approval from the site administrator for the sandbox?
So we start to be, when did you submit it? We would normally try to be under 24 hours.
24 hours? Okay, yeah, sure. I didn't know what's the timeline, so I thought it was showing pending approvals. I wanted to check. Thank you. This is great.
Okay, great. So yeah, that is with the accounts. So everyone at the US affiliated institution, so academia, national labs can use automatically normally the CI log on. So even if you have never tried it before, maybe with your user account, you should be able to log in. And so this meeting is on purpose also so set up that people can try during the presentation or after the presentation. I appreciate that. So you should be able to log in directly if you are at a US institution in academia or at national labs. That should work. And also Gov addresses should work. We tried that. So the other sandbox we would like to show is the NDP, the National Data Platform sandbox. It's not on the production website yet, but we are shortly before approving that you can definitely also reach it from the NAIRR Pilot org. You can already reach it at ndp-nairrpilot.org, also alone standing. So that is a work. So this is really around data and data analytics and workspace sandboxes there. So it has this welcome page. What is integrated at the moment are two NAIRR projects, the HydroGen one. So that is the first digital twin of complex terrestrial hydrologic cycle from bedrock to treetops. So this is really, you can try. We will have a demo about this one. OpenTopography is really around high resolution earth science oriented topography data, and it's also a NAIRR pilot project. It has a similar logic. So you have to have a login that you can try something and that you can start a Jupyter notebook. The logic is similar to the JetStream one we have seen. So additionally, NDP has a dataset catalog and public workspaces, and also an education hub. So that means, so the goal, NDP has also a NAIRR pilot project, besides being its own platform and own project. And the idea is that educational classroom project add their data here. And so an example is the education hub. This is not directly a NAIRR pilot project, but that is an example how to integrate it, for example, with NDP. Also here you have to sign in. And then you could here see the example data challenge and how to onboard, and it opens up the data challenges then. And you can join it after you log in. And the NDP has a dataset catalog. So this is a registration really. It copies, or it has all the metadata, but it doesn't have the data itself, but it points to the right data sets of the different projects. And it really registers them and keeps the important information that it's searchable, that it's fair, that you have really this findable, accessible, interoperable, and reproducible, reusable. And also here we have a nice video to start from. I will show the HydroFrame, how you can use the HydroFrame framework. So this was created, this video, by Pedro. This shows, the screenshot I did show you before. So here are the two projects. This is the welcome page, and you have to create a login with CI log on. And to really use HydroFrame, we need to create a pin to use the API. So it has a description of the project. And then it has public workspaces. You can go to the public workspaces, make your own workspace so that you have your own hub. It copies it directly. Yeah, Pedro has already done that several times, so he has more data sets. And you see the demo for really this. And you have to sign up also here with the CI log on and to create a PIN to be able to use the API. What you do then is you go to hydroframe.org. So here you see the different projects again. It's HydroGen, HydroData. And what you do then is you need to create the 4-digit personal identification number. So everything is so prepared that you only have to fill it out. You log in, and then it creates a PIN for you. And so you see it's created, and now you can go back to HydroGen, and it's valid for 7 days. So you should be able to do this several times just with this PIN number, or you will be able to do that. And then you can launch the Jupyter Notebook. It takes a little bit. So the first time also it builds it up. And you can see you select which kind of workspace you want to do. So the HydroFrame, this is a HydroFrame demo. It shows you the different resources, what kind of GPUs, or whether you use GPUs at all, what is data lab. So the Jupyter Notebook starting takes a little bit. So it goes now really to setting it up. And in a moment, you will see something similar you have seen also in the demo before. So this is now really going through setting the whole environment in Jupyter Notebook up for you. And you can then see the container in a second. You see that it was Pedro's own space and everything. It will be your own space since you are logged in. Then you select a workspace on the left-hand side. And if you go to the workspace, yes, there's a HydroFrame demo. And then you enter the current folder where you want to go. There's your HydroFrame. And you can then go to the Jupyter Notebook itself. And you see it downloads required libraries. It prepares it all for you automatically. And it gives some explanation and what kind of libraries to import to register the PIN you created. So you have to type your email address and the PIN you created before in the step. And that should be then fine for 7 days. So that is not a step you have to do every time. And then you have some helper functions. So you run those. And it sets the grid, it sets, like what kind of spatial resolution you want to use, what is, your grid spatial extent. So you see it works through the configuration for the figures. And it has a couple of prerequisites that it runs through. So this takes now a little bit, but you see it's all, successfully executed. So there should be still 2-3 lines coming up. And it shows the different shapes. And then you really have the visualization, for example, of a drainage area. So here you see the drainage area, and then you want another plot. You can create another plot. And that connects then really also the drainage area versus the slope. And then the screen shows more of the references with what kind of research is behind there. And yeah, that is the information for HydroFrame. So we will share the recording and also the URLs. Also, you can have a look at OpenTopography, what you're doing there, or what you can do there. This is also available. And we encourage you. You can try the sandboxes yourself. And on purpose, we made this not so long because we want you that we can answer questions, that you can try it on the fly, or look at also now the NAIRR Pilot Portal to how to get started with NAIRR. do you have any questions there? Is there something we can help with? So all the developers and also the leadership team are on the call. And with that, thank you for coming and joining this webinar.